Okay.
Oh, sorry.
All right, we're live.
I was just jamming so much in this music. It's so great.
It was great music.
Woo! Gun Talk Live. It's what day?
Thursday. Start of March Madness.
Start of March Madness.
Oh, you guys.
Like that sort of thing.
I apologize, Oklahoma fans. We couldn't push them through. So
filled out a bracket.
Yeah, we've got a Gun Talk bracket going.
I haven't watched a single game of college basketball
all year.
No. Too busy.
That's when you start picking on like team mascots, school colors.
Oh yeah. But
higher seeds.
They were good ones, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna pick them. Yeah. So welcome in, settle in. I'm gonna be monitoring the YouTubes.
I'm on Facebook.
And if you guys have comments, questions, perhaps something thoughtful, chime in, please. It'll give us stuff to talk about, right? But first off,
we're jumping real quick.
We're going to jump right into it.
Hey, we're starting off with some cringe-worthy videos, and you guys have seen these. They are cringe-worthy, but let's jump into it, and we're gonna talk through these and go over.
Safety first. All right, let's talk about this. Some of these videos may be real. Here's our buddy Tex. You guys may have seen Tex.
I shot myself.
That's right, Mr. I just shot myself. He pulled the trigger on a loaded gun, which tends to make the gun go off.
Yeah. When your finger's on the trigger, when it's coming out of the holster, pretty much.
Oh, here's one.
You're gonna have problems.
This is
scary.
Oh my God. He's pointing the gun at his thrower.
No.
I think that was real. Some of these.
I think that one's real.
This always frustrates me. I don't think it's funny. It's dumb. You're just creating somebody who doesn't want to shoot guns anymore. This one is not real. I can guarantee.
There's no way this is
but
real.
It's instructive that probably guns. Watch how the gun does not recoil.
Like there's a little jerk.
Watch it.
There it is, and then it goes off.
It doesn't really recoil. It's not real, but you should probably get your gun in a good spot.
This one.
Hold your horses.
This one I can't decide if it's real. I hope it's not real.
All right,
but
don't point the gun at yourself. That's like step one.
Do you think he saw it coming? Do you think he was like, "Oh crap!
Oh, here it comes." That's horrible. Oh,
I can't imagine. And all these videos do is they go to like drive home the fact that you can't be too safe. No matter, in Tex, I think he went on to say that, he made a mistake and it was his fault and he owned up to it. And he has a lot of experience with guns.
Yeah.
So this happens to the most experienced people when they don't think about the safety rules.
So 4 rules of gun safety, okay?
And we're going to pop them up here for you guys. These are from our friends at Gun Side. They're the universal rules.
And people will say, well, we have 8 rules or we have 10 rules. But if you follow these 4 rules, you will not have a catastrophic accident. You just won't. All guns are always loaded. That means treat all guns as though they're loaded.
Yes.
Even if you've seen it be unloaded, just
doesn't matter.
You pretend that it is loaded at all times. Never let the muzzle cover anything that you don't want to destroy. Don't point guns at stuff. Don't point at people. Don't point it at your TV. Don't point it at a wall where your kids are sleeping on their side.
Don't sweep your muzzle down the line.
Yeah. Keep your finger off the trigger until your sights are on the target. That's what happened to Tex.
Yes.
Tex put his finger on the trigger as the gun was pointed at his leg, which is
not a target.
It's a problem. It's a target.
Unless he meant to shoot his leg.
And then always be sure of your target, and really kind of the other part of that is what's behind your target, what's in front of your target.
So on number 3, it's kind of funny. Didn't you tell me Clint Smith's number 3 was keep your booger hook off the bang switch?
Keep your booger hook off the bang switch. Yeah, there's no better way to put it.
That's pretty good.
It's not nice, but it's true. So safety first, everybody. And this isn't a judgment on people who have had accidents necessarily, because the point is it could happen to anybody. There are a lot of people we know, obviously, hundreds or thousands of people in the gun industry who are handling guns all the time, shooting guns all the time, and even the most experienced folks have some stories.
I was telling you one that I had, and it happened to me, and it scared the living snot out of me because I was running guns through some tests, and I was by myself on a range, and doing some torture tests with shotguns, and I ran what I thought was an empty gun, and you know, turned around, guns pointed down range, and my booger hook was on the bank switch, and it went off, and I stopped right then. I was terrified. It was awful. It was an awful experience, and that happened.
Which you messed up
15 years ago. Oh, that was me.
You messed up, but you were also following the other rules, which kept it from being catastrophic.
Right.
The gun was pointed in a safe direction, downrange.
But still, no excuse. I mean, you know, I mean that.
But I'm saying, you know, you could actually even have a problem with one of the rules if the other, you know, you could point a gun at a person, which is breaking a rule.
Ugh.
But if you don't have your finger on the trigger, you're treating the gun as if it's, well, I guess you'd be breaking that.
I mean, you're breaking two
you know,
rules.
Follow the rules.
It's just you keep those rules top of mind anytime, and you know we see matches and stuff like that where you know people get disqualified for a negligent discharge or something like that. It happens. We understand that happens, but keep them top of mind. It can't be underestimated. And a lot of the problems that we see in accidents, and we heard of one just here recently, locally, was a guy was carrying in his pocket with no holster. Oh, and that's one of the things I never really understood is why you would carry a gun in your pocket and there's no holster.
It's okay carrying in a pocket, but you can't just stuff it in a pocket. So we kind of thought we'd talk about this a little bit. This one is an Elite Survival Mainstay holster, and it's really it could be. This is actually for a bigger gun. You can
like a compact.
Get a smaller one that'll be a pocket holster, and it has this rubberized material so it won't slide out of your pocket. But also, you can actually carry this under, inside the waistband where the belt holds it in place.
And it does, and we've got, Greg's sitting here. He's shooting it on an FPD training session that we did, and it worked really well. And he cinches that belt down, a little bit tighter to where that will get that positive grip to it.
Right.
And he was extracting a gun easily.
Well, and the main thing is it's covering the trigger.
Yes.
So the trigger's not going to get caught on something on your pants, and you have less of a chance as you grab the gun to have that sympathetic reflex of grabbing the trigger with your finger.
You look at his trigger finger is off of the holster. Like if you look at it and look at his draw stroke, he's coming up real high. He's keeping that finger real wide.
Yeah.
And as he's coming up into this position, that's when he's starting to engage that trigger.
And that's a training issue.
That is.
People think I have to get, and this is what happened to him too. He was trying to go real fast.
Real fast.
And he thought, I don't know if he thought it or it just happened, I need to get on the trigger fast, which is not necessarily the case. The more training you do, it doesn't take long to go doop, doop,
right.
So anyway, that's kind of our little safety spiel. We have some questions coming in. I don't want it to go too far without answering them. What do you think is the best starter gun? Boy, that's an open-ended question.
That's a loaded question.
Whoa. For what? Probably...
the one you're most comfortable with.
I'll give you the easy answer is probably a 22, whether it's a
starter gun,
whether it's if you're talking about a pistol or a rifle.
Now, are we talking about kids? Are we talking about young adult shooters? Are we talking? Who are we talking about?
I don't know, but pistol. Oh, he says pistol. Okay, best starter gun pistol. I'd say a 22. Get a 22.
Yeah, just go. Get comfortable.
Depending on where you're heading. If you're wanting to get a starter gun in order to go get a carry gun, if you're going to carry a revolver, maybe get a starter 22 revolver. Yeah. Something that's cool is Ruger and Smith.
And Smith.
They both have those. It's basically a J-frame and a 22. Yeah. Yep. Or a J-frame where Ruger would be an RCR.
Yes.
I think, right?
Yep.
So... there are some options there, but a 22 is hard to beat.
And if you're looking at Smith, if you look to go the Smith route, they've got the 22 compact that's almost the same dimensions as their M&P line.
Yeah.
So you could go that way and then transition into a gun.
Yeah, he says why a 22. Why a 22? Low recoil, low noise. Yep. You're not going to... You can groove good habits, not groove bad habits if you're flinching or some things like that. Yeah. And also with less recoil, you may be able to, or somebody shooting with you may be able to diagnose something you're doing because sometimes the recoil can hide it.
Yep. Absolutely.
And it's cheaper to shoot too. The ammo's cheaper.
Oh yeah.
Which is good.
Absolutely.
So wanted to let's see. I have a 1911 and a Smith & Wesson Shield. Both are in 9mm. Ooh.
I bet those are sweet.
Yeah.
Shields are great.
Shields are great.
I mean,
nice size for a carry gun. 1911 and 9mm. Generally, it doesn't really matter of the
Pro Series. I'm wondering if
might be
the Pro.
Really, it doesn't. I would say pretty much every 1911 in 9mm that I've shot is pleasant.
Smooth.
Pleasant to shoot.
And it fits well. So.
Yeah.
But we also, I don't know how many more questions you got to go.
I got all kinds of questions.
Oh, really? Man, they're flying in?
They're flying in.
Well, that's good.
Venom Sting 234 says, why do you think so many politicians attack the NRA after a mass shooting?
It's an easy target.
It's easy
It's a big target.
It
encompasses a lot of people.
You could say that emotions have something to do with it. It clouds the judgment, and we don't get into the logic until maybe a month later. But sometimes it's not that innocent. They're waiting for an opportunity to attack the NRA, who they don't like, who supports their opponents who run against them. What's funny to me is when they talk about the NRA, the powerful gun lobby. I don't know, but I think if the NRA was as powerful as some people say they are, we wouldn't have any problems.
No.
We wouldn't have
no problem.
We wouldn't have fear of people taking away gun rights.
That's funny.
If they were a powerful gun lobby.
It's funny because it's true. We would have no issues.
I wish they were as powerful as CNN says they are.
Yeah. Might make things a lot easier for us.
AARP is more powerful than the NRA.
Yeah.
They have more members.
Yeah. They just don't lobby as good.
Yeah. AAA Auto Insurance has better lobbyers and more power than the NRA.
Yeah, see, Joseph Wyon he says attack the NRA because it takes no effort. Easier as scapegoat than examine the world honestly or make any actual changes.
Right.
We can play the blame game all day long, is what they're saying. We can point blame and we can look at what's wrong with our world, but until it comes down to actual change, they're not willing to do it. So
here's a good question, and I don't have the right answer, but why does the NFA tax stamp process take nearly a year when NICS takes minutes?
Man, that's a good question.
Funding, and because
I don't know.
Probably, if you really had to get down to it, someone's going to argue that it was Martin Luther King Jr. that said, a right delayed is a right denied. So you can use that same logic on guns to say, well, and people do, and there are states that have a 7-day, a 10-day waiting period, and really that's delaying a right. It's probably not constitutional, but I guess it depends on which judge you get. But, the NFA tax stamp, when you're talking about SBRs or silencers or machine guns, the public are not as worried about protecting those rights.
So I just
my theory.
Recently got 2 submitted, and there's a barcode, and Silencer Shop is doing this. They've got barcodes on there.
Silencer Shop has some cool stuff.
Oh, they've got it going on, man. So you go in there, and so basically what'll happen is once they receive your tax stamp money, that's when the day starts. When they cash that check, that's when it starts. And so they scan that code, and it'll process it a little bit quicker. The guys with the little barcode on it is going about 5 months last time I checked.
So that's a lot faster.
It's a lot faster.
You're working through Silencer Shop to do that?
No, actually, I was working through our local gun shop.
But they're doing it with Silencer Shop?
But they're doing it with Silencer Shop.
Yeah.
And so it makes it a lot easier than the guys that have just the forms that have... So because it takes longer to sit down there and fill out the form, because they have to fill out the form if they don't have the barcode scan.
Yeah. They got a guy. Yeah.
One guy back there going,
beep, beep. So, let's shoot a gun inside the office.
Yes. This is actually one of the coolest things to come right here. This is Devil BBs.
These are the guys from Pyramyd Air
cool. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Invented this. Pyramyd Air Mall, who is basically the biggest online seller of air guns out there. This is one of their big introductions at SHOT Show. And these are frangible BBs. The problem with shooting BBs is they bounce around.
Everywhere.
And if you're shooting at hard surfaces, they're going to bounce around. People like to shoot them for practice in your backyard or in your basement. We don't have basements here, but I guess somebody has basements. So these are Devil BBs. They're a little lighter because they're made of something else.
But
so
they're faster than
10% faster than steel BBs. Shatters on impact. So
so our initial thought was, well, why don't we just shoot it live with you guys?
You guys want to see it? You want to see it?
Oh yeah, well of course.
This guy says, "Have you ever shot a gun?" No, I've never shot a gun.
Never shot a gun.
All right, I hope this works.
It does.
You ready? All right, let's test it out.
Ah! It was loaded.
You're fired.
I swear it's loaded. Did you not put it in? No. Yeah, you go for it. Now it's ready. Now, yeah, it's on safety. Safety first.
Safety first. Live.
See? Frangible. They break apart. You can't hear them. They're not bouncing all over. So
that's kind of cool.
That's really cool. And there we go.
It's like just a little dust.
Yeah, just a little dust going down.
Yeah.
I mean, put those Ryobi dust devils to work. But yeah, the Dust Devil BBs, folks at Pyramyd Air are putting out some really cool stuff. But they work. They really work, and they're a lot of fun to shoot. 10% faster than steel, and they shatter on impact. And they're lead free.
And what we're using here, this is a Sig Sauer BB gun. It's pretty cool.
It's the P320.
The P320 has a kind of a realistic, certainly a feel because it's identical. The weight,
and we know the safety works.
The safety works. We'll try that out on camera, live. All right. So the recoil on that is insane, James says. Yeah. It does have a blowback slide.
Ryan just has that much control. He
Tell you what.
just has control, like 4 arms of steel.
I still recommend eye protection.
Yes, of course. But no, we've we were talking about all these guns and what you do with them and how you protect them, because we're coming up on spring and it's kind of a weird time.
Yep.
Got a lot of humidity in the air building, so we got to keep guns safe. And we talked briefly about gun storage.
Yeah, that's a common question we get. We'll get about gun cleaning.
Yep.
We also get questions about storing guns. What's the best way to store my guns safely? They'll ask about ammunition in safes.
That's a big one.
That's a big one. Ammunition, probably the lawyers will say don't, because lawyers' job is to say no. You can store some ammunition in safes, from what I understand. Somebody can call me out and tell me I'm wrong. But you should not store powder in a safe, because that's called creating a bomb. That's generally bad.
Generally bad for when someone comes knocking on your door.
Yeah, but generally the ammunition, there's not enough. I wouldn't store maybe I wouldn't store thousands of rounds in there, perhaps. And you don't really need to store ammunition in a safe.
So being down south, how many dehumidifiers do you run in your safe? How many dehumidifiers are you running?
I have a goldenrod, and I have some desiccant pack things, and then I take all the guns out once a year at least, and wipe them all down. There's some other stuff, but I don't know how much is overkill.
Yeah, well, I don't think
it's the deep south.
I don't think you can have too much.
There's no such thing as overkill.
There's no such thing. I have some of those Everdries I run. I know that's one of the bigger questions that we really will get is, like, how do you keep them, like, all the moisture out? And it's just, you have to maintain those Everdries and those decusant, or that's how you say it?
Decusant. Desiccant. Come on, help us out here. We're not that smart. Went to a public school.
Yeah.
But and as far as ammo goes, people ask about storing ammo. The answer that Tom gives on Gun Talk Radio every week is, if you're comfortable, the ammo will be comfortable. So you don't want it too hot or too cold. Too hot in particular is bad for ammo. And humidity is not great.
Oh, it's awful.
Not great for ammo.
But you got to get all those guns organized.
Right.
And I think that's, we did actually a segment on guns and gear with gun storage solutions.
We did a cool thing, and I didn't appreciate it until I saw it in person. Because basically the guys from Gun Storage Solutions say we have these rifle rods, these gun storage rods, and it'll let you store more guns in your safe. Or the secret is, it'll actually make your 35 gun safe be able to hold 35 guns.
Yeah, you can actually maximize that space, and we're kind of watching it here. And Tom's, she gave him a goal is to get the back gun in the corner out and see how many guns he'd have to move.
Yeah.
With and without the, rifle rods.
Right. So basically, you have this Velcro that attaches in, and then the little rods have a little Velcro piece, and it goes down the barrel of your gun. So it'll help you get more guns in, but it also, for AR-15 guys, carbine length stuff, a lot of times they're not tall enough to
See right there.
be able to lean up. So you can kind of tell. It basically adjusts for the length of the gun.
In installation, I always am hesitant about adding anything to my safe or anything like that that takes permanent. A lot of work.
Right.
But this really doesn't. I mean, you're attaching Velcro.
Yeah.
And then the rifle rods just stick up to it, and it's easy. Yes. Desiccant. Thank you, Jason.
Do they make a quick access rifle safe containers? There are some out there. Obviously, I'm probably going to not remember all of them. I mean, gunvault. You think of gunvault as having those little handgun safes, but they've expanded and they have some other things.
They've grown.
There's some little lock mechanisms that go around the trigger part of a shotgun or a rifle, I believe. But it's a fairly quick access. That's another way that you can keep the stuff safe, where someone can't use it, but quick access for you, which is obviously the kind of the best of both worlds. So, any other questions you have?
Yeah, we'd be happy to answer them.
Let us know. But, we're still seeing some crazy stuff in the news. And I think all we can do is keep, be persuasive, be calm. Just hard to do.
Be calm and reach out to your legislators.
Yeah.
I mean,
let them know where you stand, because if all they hear are 13 really vocal anti-gun right people, that's what they're going to think. Man, everybody's calling me. But
this is what I should focus on. This is the direction I should take. And if they don't hear from us, we're in a bad spot.
Yeah. I mean, if they get 100 calls and 75% are from the other side, that's what they think people care about. And I don't think it takes that many. I don't think we're talking about thousands of calls.
No.
You could probably get you and all your shooting buddies to write in, call in, and one of the favorite things is to actually show up. Face to face.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool. And also, when you're talking to someone who is anti-gun rights, I like to ask questions, because it gets them kind of having to answer questions, as opposed to just tell them. Ask questions.
That never works.
I like asking questions.
Asking questions works.
Yeah.
Telling them never works, because they're going to tell you right back, and then nothing gets made of it.
Because you could say, well, what would your solution be? Well, my solution would be this. Well, what about the fact that you can't do this? You can just keep asking the questions, the questions.
Put them in your shoes, too. I mean, say, okay, let me get this straight. Let me replay this back. This is what you said. Repeat what they said. And then maybe it's starting to sound a little crazier and crazier every time they're hearing it back.
Paul says, I don't think that's going to work this time. Well, I like Airbomb34 says, is 40 Smith & Wesson dead yet? And I think he wants it to be dead.
I think,
he's got an emoji thing.
Is it a praying emoji?
Yeah.
Like, please let it be dead.
He's smiling. I mean, it's not dead.
When's the last time you saw a gun come out for it, though?
But you're not going to see a lot of guns made in that caliber. Any new guns?
Right.
No.
I mean, is it on its way out?
It's kind of funny.
That's a good thought.
It's a good caliber. It's just not that much better than anything else.
Right.
And the more that people really research this stuff, they find that 9 will get the job done as far as self-defense goes. Yes. It's cheaper to shoot. It's less recoil. You can hold more ammo. And ultimately, it's more about shot placement than it is about the size, the diameter of the bullet.
Yeah. So what is, for all you listeners out there, what is the rifle round that would be considered the 40 caliber? What's the 40 caliber equivalent in the rifle round?
The one that's going out?
What's the one that's going out?
Oh, that's a good question. Chime in. Come on, I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Because Is it a 30-06? Is it?
Well, 30-06 is still being loaded. As you know, the old standard was they brought out a new gun as far as like a hunting rifle, maybe a bolt action, and it's available in 243, 270, and 30-06.
Those are the standards.
And then next year it's going to be available in 308.
Yeah.
And well, they'd have to go to a bigger action on like a 300 Win mag, but I mean.
Or 7mm.
The big stuff is always specialty because you don't really have to. You don't need a 338 Win mag, which is an awesome cartridge.
Yes.
You don't need that to shoot most things in North America.
No, just get close. Do we have any answers? I want to hear answers.
7.62 by 39. 7.62 by 39. Is that dead? Man, I don't know. I mean,
well, Ruger
the
Ruger American Ranch Rifle came out in 7.62 by 39 last year.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, that's brand new, and I shot an antelope with it.
You know what ones I think are losing steam are the super short magnums.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a craze for a while to get into the magnums. Faster. But now, what's the hottest round? A 300 Blackout.
Yeah.
Which is like, even at a 110 grain bullet is going 2,300 feet per second. That's slow.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
it's not. Well, the my 6.5 Creedmoor's running 2,700. I mean, that's
not fast.
That's not fast.
So that's another hot cartridge that's not a magnum.
Fast.
It's not a magnum.
Yeah.
It's not flat shooting because it's fast. It's flat shooting because of the bullets.
Yes.
If you ask the government, it will be the 223. Long live the 9mm. 30-30. 30-30 is not an impressive round, but there's just a lot of guns that shoot it out there.
There is.
You may not see a lot of new guns being introduced in a 30-30. Maybe that's kind of what he's saying here. This is boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion is the name of the YouTuber.
Jason.
You guys are your names, dude. It's crazy.
Jason Brown says 300 Blackout is probably closest to 40. And I hate to say it because I love it.
300 Blackout? Is on its way out?
That's what he says. No, I don't think so, man.
I don't think so.
No way.
I'd love to. This is fun. Sit around and drink a beer and talk about this.
Oh yeah. Next time we'll have that filled with beer because it's interesting.
Well, as you watch this, and even people who watch it when it's not live, after we go off the air here, chime in. I'd love to see what your thoughts are because. We're all kind of wondering what's the hot round? What's the next hot round?
224 Valkyrie is.
Well, it's got a little.
That's got some legs.
It's got some legs.
I mean that
People
one
excited
right there.
about that.
That might be
it's
my
specialized
next
though.
It is.
You know, 22 Nozzler. They came out with the 22 Nozzler. They kind of were the first one to come out with that really amped up 22.
We'll see
for ARs.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Don't forget. Newsletter. Sign up for it. Go on guntalk.com. You can sign up there. Also, info@guntalk.com. Send us your applications for First Person Defender. We need a bio, an image, or a video. Videos would be great.
Let us know a little about your shooting experience and why you want to be on First Person Defender and get shot at.
Yeah. Hey, we might even put you as the bad guy.
Ooh, that's fun. Let me tell you. Until you get shot.
And it's pairs. Yeah. It stings. It stings when you get shot. But I still have marks. And we just launched some videos that are actually really cool. The Laser Lab videos went out yesterday.
Yeah.
That's a big one that they need to go.
Check out the Laser Lab videos because what I had a hard time explaining in the video, and I'm going to try to explain to you now is
right now.
We wanted 3 different people of 3 different skill levels, shooting skill levels. We didn't tell them anything about what we were going to do. We brought them in, and we had them run a drill without a laser, and we had to run the same drill with a laser. Real simple stuff. And then just asked them, what'd you think? What were your observations about this?
I mean, it was immediately after.
I didn't lead them, didn't coach them, and we just wanted to get the real reaction. And I think you can tell we were trying to get the real reaction, but it was pretty instructive. It was pretty cool to see what happened.
And we had a novice shooter. She shot rifles. Really, that's it.
Obviously,
no pistol training.
On handgun
None.
stuff.
And then we had kind of the, the younger guy who's, he's active in shooting.
Yeah.
He likes it. He enjoys it. It's kind of a favorite pastime. He continues to do it. And then we had the old retired law officer, trainer.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting video, captivating to watch their reactions to how the laser. I mean, it's real reactions. It's pretty cool work.
And Tom's getting back from Germany. He was out at EWA checking out what's going on the international side of guns and gun rights. And he'll be live on Gun Talk Radio this Sunday. So tune in for that.
Yeah. So you guys, thanks for watching. And this is Gun Talk Live.